Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Clifton Bolin. Hope you all have had a great weekend. I'm going to get right down to the news. I just heard that Whoopi Goldberg, someone whom I have at one point in my life really admired, have said some things that were totally false and totally leftist and totally radical as far as I'm concerned. And she down on The View, she downplayed the 6 million Jews that were slaughtered under Hitler's regime by saying that these were just white people killing white people. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat with that. And it was just wow. So listen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys listen in on a couple of audio clips from The View that I got off of an online conservative site known as Red State. I'm going to let you guys listen in on a couple of audio clips of what she said. And then after I finish letting you guys listen to the audio clip, I'm going to give you my detailed opinion on this. So let's go right into this, all right? And I believe here is the first statement she said.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about race.
It's
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's
after
not
Jews
about
and
race.
gypsies
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they
How
go
do we
after black
They
people
just see
too.
them as white
And they
people.
But
went
you're
after
missing the point.
homosexuals.
You're
Yeah.
missing the point.
Yeah.
The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, I don't want to be like that.
Well, hopefully.
I want to be cool.
Yeah,
And
most kids, they don't want to be cruel.
No, they don't.
And we're living in an era where people are comparing vaccine cards to the yellow stars, where people are comparing vaccinations to what Anne Frank went through.
Yeah.
So it is necessary for kids to learn about the
They have
Holocaust.
To learn about man's inhumanity to man, however it exposes itself. I have to cut you off.
I just want to say that mouse was banned and it flew to the top 20 of Amazon's rules last week.
Yes.
That's about all I'm going to let you hear right there on that part right there. She said something else, too, on another clip that I want you guys to listen in on. What she just said was totally crazy, but I'm not going to give all my details on it right now. I'm going to do that after I let you guys listen to this last audio clip.
And a Tennessee school pulled the graphic novel Mouse out of their lessons on the Holocaust because it contained some nudity and some bad language. Personally, I'm shocked because, given the story of Mouse, I'm surprised that that's what made you uncomfortable. The fact that there was some nudity and it's about the Holocaust, the killing of 6 million people, but that didn't bother you. But the naked.
I'm not sure that they don't use the naked part as a kind of a canard to throw you off from the fact that they don't like history that makes white people look bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is white people doing it to white people.
Yeah.
So this is y'all go fight amongst yourselves, but.
Okay, that's it. That's almost right there. This is white people fighting against white people. So basically what she's saying is, the way I interpret this, in my opinion, what Whoopi Goldberg is saying is that it's not racism when it's white people killing other white people. If it was white people killing other black people or enslaving other black people, then it's racism. But if it's white people killing other white people, it's not racism. And so therefore, Hitler killing 6 million Jews wasn't racism. It was just white people killing white people. It's inhumanity, man's inhumanity to man when it's white people doing other things to white people. It's just man's inhumanity to man. It's not racism. This is what she's saying. So she's basically, in essence, downplaying the Holocaust, which is what a lot of people on the far left do. The far left is exactly what it is. It's far left. These people are bat crazy. They're demonic. They're demonic, in my opinion. They're evil. They're evil. Their hearts are dark. Their hearts are dark. But let me just say this before I go off on a tantrum. First of all, it was racial, in my opinion. And here's the reason why I say that the killing of the 6 million Jews by the Nazis was racial. Number one, Hitler and the Nazi regime considered Jews and anyone else that wasn't a part of what they call the Aryan race, okay, were inferior to what they deemed to be a superior race, which they considered to be the German race, which was supposedly, according to Hitler's ideology and the Nazis' ideology, descendants of the Aryan race, which was supposed to be, and this is what they believed, a group of God men, part God, part humans, that they descended from. And that the Jews among other groups were considered to be inferior. It didn't matter the color of their skin. This is what other people don't understand. Racism is defined in a dictionary as when a group of people or an individual considers another race or ethnic group inferior to them. It's not necessarily talking about merely the color of your skin. Why is that important? Because Africa, being a continent, has many countries, right? And in these countries, they have many tribes. All these tribes don't speak the same language. You may have one tribe from a different area that speak a different language and another tribe from a different area that speaks a different language. And one tribe may consider another tribe inferior to it based on his language, based on his culture, based on his worship of whatever gods it worship, and they may slaughter it. And that have happened quite often in African countries. It have happened quite often in European countries where you had different groups of what we would consider to be white people hating on other white people simply because they considered these group of white people to be inferior, thus establishing the reality that it was racial. She's wrong, in my opinion, on that. She doesn't have her facts straight. It was racial. See, when it's white people killing white people, it isn't racial. So you downplay it. You downplay it. That's not true. I totally disagree with her. She's wrong. Okay? So Hitler would slaughter all these people because he considered them to be inferior. And he considered, in fact, if you do some history, Hitler's minister of propaganda by the name of Joseph Goebbels would create movies that he would have the German people watch. He created these movies where they would show scenes of rats scurrying across the ground, and then they would show another scene or another image of the Jewish people walking around. And basically what they were doing was they were associating rats, vermin, germs, disease-carrying vermin, and comparing them to the Jews. Why was they doing that? Because they was basically saying that the Jews are not human. They're no better than these rats. They're no better than vermin. And vermin, what do you do with rats? You kill them. You poison them. You slaughter them and you put them in, you set up rat traps or whatever. You poison them. Whatever you do, you get rid of them because they carry germs. This is how the Nazis considered and viewed the Jews and other races like gypsies and others to be inferior to them. They just went an extra step. They just went an extra step and started slaughtering them. So her whole idea of this is just white people killing white people and man's inhumanity to man is a bunch of bunk. Okay. And what I heard was that apparently what she had said was enough to provoke her apologizing, because apparently she apologized, according to one particular article I was reading, that she apologized for what she said. I bet you did. I bet you did. But as one particular commentator said, one particular YouTuber said, nothing's going to happen to her. If she Democrat, which she is, if she liberal, nothing's going to happen to her. She might get a slap on the wrist. That's about it. But nothing's going to happen to her. If that had been anybody conservative or Republican, they'd have been off the air before you knew it. They'd have had the guns ready for them to shoot them down, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? But there would have been anybody on the conservative side, if they had said anything even remotely resembling that, they would have been off the air. There is a clear bias in the mainstream news. That's why they're losing numbers. That's why they're losing people's attention, because they keep omitting things and saying stupid things that most Americans are in disagreement with. Americans are waking up to the stupidity of the far left. Okay. And this, what she just said here, was just totally ridiculous. It's totally crazy. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch these mainstream. I don't watch The View. And if anybody make a comment saying, well, you need to watch The View, why would I need to watch The View? Why would I want to subject myself to a half an hour or hour, however long that they're talking? Why would I want to subject myself to poison? That's like taking some poison, rat poison, and pouring it into a cup of Kool-Aid and just saying, drink that rat poison. Just drink it. Why would I drink poison? It doesn't make sense. No, I don't need to watch them. All I need to do is hear what they have to say in these clips, and I know they're wrong. That's usually the case. So, but she's totally wrong. She's totally off. I don't think anything is going to happen to her. I don't think she's going to get punished. I don't think she's going to get reprimanded. You know, but what she said was totally crazy. You basically are diminishing the slaughter of 6 million people and saying that it wasn't racial. That's just to diminish it. You know, to diminish. In other words, I don't care what happens to white people. That's basically what she's saying, which is interesting. And here's another thing, too, that's killing me. I was watching the clip, and you got all these white people on here agreeing. You know, well, one particularly didn't too much agree with it, but you got most of them agreeing with it. You know, most of them agreeing with it. And I'm like, you agreeing with the genocide of your own people. Or people of your skin color. In other words, if it's white people killing white people, I don't care. I don't care. I'm white. I'm inherently racist anyway, so I might as well get with the program. You just as blind as the rest of them are. You're just as blind as the rest of them are, in my opinion. It's ridiculous how this far leftist ideology have poisoned so many people's minds and have put this country on a rift that's on its way to utter destruction if nobody wakes up. But hopefully, prayerfully, people are waking up. What Oprah Winfrey, what Whoopi Goldberg said was wrong, in my opinion. She's totally off. It was racial. Okay, do some history searching, Whoopi. If you're watching this video, and I know you're not, because I'm just a little guy, but do some history, do some studying for a little while before you go off and say what you said to millions of Americans. All right, because you're wrong. I disagree with you. And I used to really like her. What got me into liking Whoopi Goldberg was the movie Color Purple that came out in 1985. I ain't know nothing about Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? And it was a Color Purple. People saying, you need to see Color Purple. You need to see the Color Purple. I was deep into horror movies. I could have cared less about no Color Purple. You're talking about Color Purple. Man, what is that? What kind of movie has the title of Color Purple? Who cares? I was into horror movies. I didn't want to hear nothing about that. But then finally talked me into it. I saw it. I was boo-hooing and crying. Oh, my God. And she just really impressed me. And then after that, her career just shot up. She started making movies like Ghost or Jumpin' Jack Flash and Ghost and a few others. And I really liked her. She was funny and was a good actor, and I really liked her. But now it seems like to me that now that she's not doing any movies on the monetary side, I kind of can understand why she's and what I mean by this, follow me on this before I close this video. I can kind of understand why she's like, well, I'm not doing any movies. I got to get on to something so where I can get a steady paycheck. And she's getting a steady paycheck on The View. She's getting a steady paycheck. So on that sense, I get it. But the stuff that she's spending is wrong. I disagree with it, and it needs to be exposed. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again.